Okay, so here's the video about the moon, sun, earth system, and we're going to talk about seasons as well. Okay, it says, why is it that during the harvest season the moon appears to be orange? Think about that for a second, and what do you think might be the reason? Okay, well, here's your answer. It says that we're looking through the moon during twice as much atmosphere at the time, so the light is being bended, causing it to look orange, giving a reflection of orange. All right, so I'm going to show you 4 pictures. I want you to see if you can guess which one is not real. So here's the first one, second, third, and fourth. Oops. Okay, so this one is actually real. Not real. Yes, this one's actually real when you get close to the North Pole, and also real. The blue moon was not real. A blue moon is actually a saying that refers to when we have 2 full moons in 1 month. And this doesn't happen very often, which is why people say once in a blue moon. However, there are times when the moon is blood red. Sometimes it's orange, and sometimes it's white to yellow. There are also times when the moon appears to be a lot bigger than it does normally. What you should write here is that the moon is 1/4 the size of the Earth and has a gravity that is 1/6. I don't expect you to memorize the temperatures of day and night. I do expect you, though, to know that it doesn't have an atmosphere to control the temperature, so when it's sunny, it's extremely hot, and when it's night, it's extremely cold. It is tectonically active. It has about 3,000 moonquakes a year, and it also dates to be about the same age as the Earth, which is 4.6 billion years old. Okay, it has highlands, which are the mountain ranges, and this is what is lit up. There are valleys between the mountains, and they have plains that are darker called Maria. Maria actually means sea, and when they first saw it, they thought it was water, but it's actually the flat plains, and the sun's not shining on it, so it appears to be darker. That's what gives you the face on the moon. It says if we were on our way to land on the moon, which part of the moon should we do this on? If we're looking at the moon right here, we're definitely going to want to land where we see a lot of dark areas because it's the flat plain area. Okay, the moon movement. We have apogee and perigee. The moon's orbit is not a perfect circle, so it has a moment where it's closest to the Earth and it has moments when it's farthest away. Apogee is when it's farthest away, away. Okay, that's how you can remember it, and it appears to be small. Perigee is when it's closest and it appears to be larger. Okay, solar eclipse. I would know this in word description and also draw the diagram. So a solar eclipse is when the moon is in the middle, and you can see it has 2 different kinds of shadows. Depending on the angle of your light source, objects can have more than one shadow. They have one that's dark and one that's light. Well, the darker shadow is called the umbra, and it's this little tiny section on the Earth receives the umbra. If you're standing there during this time, you would see a total eclipse of the sun. If you're standing in the penumbra, you would see a partial eclipse, and everyone else just sees a normal sunny day. Okay, so why is it dangerous to stand outside and watch a solar eclipse? If the sun's light is blocked out, our pupils open as wide as they can, trying to gather as much light as they can to see. And with them open as far as they can, and the UV rays are still coming at your eyes in full force, it's daytime still, technically. All the UV rays go right into your eye and can damage it and cause you to go blind. Okay, a lunar eclipse. This just happened a month ago. This is when the Earth is in the center, and when the moon falls into the umbra, it actually gets the light from the sun that bent in a way that only the red part of the spectrum is hitting the moon, and it lights up as blood red. Okay, so you would have to be on that side of the Earth when this happens in order to see it. The umbra is the vocabulary name, so you need to know these words for the inner darker shadow, and the penumbra is the outer lighter shadow. Okay, would it be just as dangerous to stand and watch a lunar eclipse? The answer is no, because the light that you're seeing on the moon is just a reflection of light. It's not directly from the light source. So you're seeing the light, but you're not getting the UV rays. Okay, tides. You live in an area where they announce the tides daily, so you hopefully know too low and too high every day. If you didn't know that, you should probably write it down. Spring tides and neap tides. We get 2 spring and 2 neap every month. So a spring tide is the highest high tide. They're both high tides, but a spring tide is a higher or the highest high tide. This is when the Earth, Sun, and Moon are completely lined up during a full or new moon. A neap tide is your lowest or weakest high tide, and this is when they are completely perpendicular. They're forming this L shape instead, a right angle. And because they're nowhere near lined up, the gravitational pull is weaker, so we get the lowest high tide. And this is during first and last quarter moon. Okay, let me go back. I think you should stop and draw a diagram of what a spring tide is with the sun, earth, and moon lined up, labeling new and full moon, and then also draw a diagram for neap tide with the sun, earth, and moons perpendicular, showing half and first and last quarter moons.
Mr. Clark,